66 million years ago, a dynasty waits. Inside this shell, our Tyrannosaurus Rex prepares for its first violent breath. Like modern birds, our T-Rex uses a temporary egg tooth to break free, a tool it will only need once in its entire life. Our Tyrannosaurus hatchling, covered in proto-feathers for warmth, is born into a world that will test its fragile life. A mother's presence would have been the ultimate shield. Our little hatchling has been born into the shadow of a giant, a gentle nudge from a jaw that could crush bone. This is the first lesson in the awesome power of an adult Tyrannosaurus Rex. Protein was the fuel for a T-Rex's incredible growth rate. For our hatchling, life is already a vicious competition. In a T-Rex nest, the largest siblings would get the most food, a brutal but effective form of natural selection. Our little survivor already displays the keen binocular vision of its species, granting it the depth perception of a master hunter. Cunning, not just strength, is key to survival. This small victory reinforces the intelligence that defines the Tyrannosaurus line. Its brain, large for a dinosaur, is rapidly building the pathways for the balance and agility of an apex predator. Our hatchling's home is the Hell Creek Formation, a lush subtropical floodplain, rich with both life and constant danger. A Tyrannosaurus Rex's sense of smell was among the best of any animal, ever. She is constantly sampling the air for unseen threats. An adult Ankylosaurus was a living tank. Even for a mighty T-Rex, the risk of a broken leg from its tail club was too great. Our little predator learns a vital lesson. Not everything is prey. Some creatures are fortresses that are best left alone. A Tyrannosaurus Rex did not hunt through brute force alone. It was an intelligent animal, capable of risk assessment. Dakotaraptor, a dromaeosaur from Hell Creek, was a fast, intelligent pack hunter and a grave threat to our young T-Rex. A mother T-Rex defending her young would have been one of the most terrifying sights in the natural world, a true force of nature. The bite force of a T-Rex was the strongest of any land animal in history. For the Dakotaraptor, death was instantaneous. Pack hunters are intelligent. They know when a fight is lost, and they will not waste their lives challenging an invincible foe. Our hatchling learns the most important lesson. Its mother is not just a provider. She is a shadow of death to all who would harm it. The hunt is the most dangerous classroom. For our young T-Rex, a moment's confusion in the dense forest has just led to its first terrifying lesson in solitude. Without its mother's protection, the world has become infinitely larger and more menacing. Mortality rates for juvenile T-Rexes were incredibly high. Night in the Cretaceous was not for the weak. For our lone survivor, every shadow's a monster, every sound a potential death sentence. Hunger is a powerful motivator, overriding fear. It must now hunt for itself, a skill its mother had only just begun to teach it. Its jaws, built for slashing, not yet for crushing, are an unpracticed weapon. The first solo hunt is a painful failure. Failure is the greatest teacher. Our T-Rex is learning that for a predator, patience is just as important as power. A small meal, but a monumental victory. This first kill marks the beginning of its life as a self-sufficient hunter. Its growing body demands more food. The safety of the forest is also a cage. To truly grow, it must face the dangers of the open world. The hunter becomes the hunted. A juvenile T-Rex was not an apex predator. It was often prey for larger, more experienced killers like Dakotaraptor. The T-Rex's skull was incredibly thick and robust, a powerful weapon for ramming in close-quarters combat. That iconic sickle claw was a puncturing weapon, a deep, piercing wound that could cause severe, debilitating bleeding. Even a juvenile's bite was devastating. Its serrated, blade-like teeth were designed for shearing through flesh and bone. In the Cretaceous, victory often looked like this. Not a triumphant roar, but simply the act of surviving to see another day. A dinosaur's immune system was incredibly robust. Wounds that would kill a modern animal could often be survived, leaving behind a permanent scar. Every scar is a lesson. It now knows to avoid open spaces and uses the cover of the riverbank to its tactical advantage. It learns, it adapts, it overcomes. Every failure has honed it into a more efficient, more intelligent killer. Its growing size demands more food. It must now take on the most dangerous game in its environment, the armored Triceratops. Its slashing bite, different from an adult's crushing jaw, was perfect for causing deep wounds and bleeding out larger prey. This kill is a turning point. It has taken down an A-list herbivore, a feat that marks its graduation into the upper ranks of predators. This massive influx of calories will trigger the legendary teenage growth spurt of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, its final step to adulthood. There are levels to being a king. Our juvenile, a giant in its own right, is still just a prince in the presence of a true monarch. It learns the final lesson of youth, knowing its place. It has survived, but its journey to become the king is only just beginning. The adult's bite was for crushing bone, a technique our juvenile has yet to master. It watches, and it learns what it will one day become. It has seen its future, a future of absolute power, of undisputed dominance. The path is clear. It must grow. It must conquer. The lone hunter's education is complete. The lessons have been learned in blood and fear. A new chapter is about to begin. Adolescence brings a massive growth spurt. Our T-Rex, fueled by its previous kills, is transforming into a true giant before our eyes. Its voice is deepening, developing the bone-rattling power that will one day command a territory. It is testing its new weapon. T-Rex had superb vision. It could lock onto a target from a great distance, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its explosive speed. Hunting a 10-ton Adolescent is a new level of challenge. It requires not just power, but a perfect hunting strategy. Capable of speeds up to 20 miles per hour, an adolescent T-Rex was a formidable pursuit predator on the open plains. A bite to the leg would cripple the massive herbivore, a key strategy for a lone hunter taking on such a colossal prey. This is its most significant kill yet, a massive bounty of food that will fuel the final stages of its growth into an adult. In the brutal Cretaceous world, a large kill was an open invitation to any and all rivals. Defending it was often as difficult as making it. It has fought too hard and learned too much to be easily bullied. The survivor is now becoming a true warrior. This is not a fight to the death, but a brutal test of strength and resolve to determine who is the dominant predator here. Though smaller, Albertosaurus was more gracile. The T-Rex's stockier, more powerful build gave it a key advantage in a shoving match. It has successfully defended its kill from a formidable rival. This victory cements its status as a dominant force in the region. The spoils of victory. This meal will provide the final burst of energy needed to complete its journey to full adulthood. The Adolescent Killer has arrived. It has fought. It has bled. It has conquered. It is no longer just a survivor. It is a king in waiting. After a battle, a massive kill provides a rare moment of security. For days, our T-Rex will not need to hunt, only to eat and grow. A T-Rex's metabolism was immense. This single kill provides the caloric energy for a significant leap in size and strength. With size comes dominance. It's no longer just a wanderer. It is establishing the boundaries of its first true hunting ground. The roar of a Tyrannosaurus was not just for intimidation. Its low-frequency sounds could travel for miles, a declaration of presence. It is learning the power of its own voice. A single roar can now clear a clearing, a weapon of psychological warfare. T-Rex were not just brutes. Fossil evidence of their large olfactory bulbs and cerebrums suggests a highly intelligent and strategic hunter. It is now selecting its battles with care, using the environment to create an advantage before the fight even begins. This is problem solving. It understands it can use the natural landscape as a trap, a sign of a highly evolved predatory mind. It uses its terrifying presence not just to kill, but to control. It is herding its prey, manipulating its fear. A successful hunt born from strategy, not just speed. It is mastering its craft, becoming a more lethal and efficient killer. It is no longer a lost juvenile. It is a dominant adolescent, the apex predator of its territory, a king in waiting. Periods of rest are crucial for conserving energy. A successful predator spends most of its time resting, waiting for the next hunt. Its senses are finely tuned. It can detect the slightest change in its environment, the faintest scent of a rival on the wind. A successful territory is a prize to be won. Its dominance has attracted a new, more powerful challenger. A fight for the throne is coming. This will be its greatest test yet. A battle not just for a meal, but for the right to rule this land, its first step to true kingship. The Adolescent Killer must now face its own reflection, a bigger, stronger version of itself. This fight will define its future. This will be its greatest test yet. A battle not just for a meal, but for the right to rule this land, its first step to true kingship. The sub-adult killer must now face its own reflection, a bigger, stronger version of itself. This fight will define its future. A fight between two T-Rexes was a contest of pure catastrophic power, with bite forces that could shatter bone. Such battles were not just about bites, but about asserting physical dominance, a brutal pushing match to prove who was stronger. In a T-Rex fight, a moment of weakness or a loss of footing could be a fatal mistake. The battle is now at its tipping point. Born from a life of hardship, our T-Rex is a more experienced and desperate fighter. It turns a disadvantage into an opportunity. A single, well-placed strategic bite was more effective than a dozen powerful shoves. Intelligence has won over brute force. The roar is a declaration, a broadcast to all in this valley. The old ruler is gone. A new, more powerful dynasty has begun. Victory is not without its price. Every square mile of its new kingdom has been paid for with blood and scars. From this vantage point, it can see everything. The hunting grounds, the watering holes, the borders. It is all his. No longer does it hunt the sick and the weak. To prove its strength, it must now take on the strongest and most dangerous prey in its kingdom. This is not a hunt for food. This is a demonstration of power, a message to all that the new king is the most lethal force in the land. It has done what few predators could, take down a healthy adult Triceratops alone. There is no longer any doubt who rules this land. It is fought, it is bled, it is conquered. The lone hunter is finally a king, its reign absolute, its future secure. It has done what few predators could, take down a healthy adult Triceratops alone. There's no longer any doubt who rules this land. Victory is not without its price. Every square mile of its new kingdom has been paid for with blood and freshly earned scars. From this vantage point, it can see everything. The hunting grounds, the watering holes, the borders. It is all his. The dynamics have shifted. The scavengers that once hunted it now flee at the mere sound of its displeasure. This is true power. A Tyrannosaurus Rex would reach its full colossal size by around 20 years of age, a process fueled by a constant, violent rain. At its full size, an adult T-Rex was one of the largest terrestrial carnivores of all time, an unstoppable force of nature. Its bite force, exceeding 12,000 pounds, was not for slashing, it was for pulverizing bone, the ultimate killing tool. It is fought, it is bled, it is conquered. The lone hunter is finally a king, its reign absolute, its future secure. It has reached the apex. There are no more rivals to fight, no more territories to conquer. The king now faces a new enemy: time. Its reign is absolute. Its presence reshapes the behavior of every creature in its domain. This is the power of an apex predator. The journey from a vulnerable hatchling to a sub-adult king is complete. The final chapter, the reign of the Tyrant King, is about to begin. Our T-Rex is now a king, a 9-ton, 40-foot-long apex predator in its absolute prime. Its reign is one of unchallenged power. This is the landscape of fear created by an apex predator. Its presence alone dictates the movement and behavior of all other species. As a 9-ton animal, it was a force of nature in its own right, a living mountain that even the fiercest storms could not move. The neck and jaw muscles of a T-Rex were incredibly powerful, used not just for biting, but for manipulating its environment. Even a king must hunt, but it no longer hunts for survival. It hunts to reaffirm its power, and it has chosen the most dangerous prey. Despite its size, a T-Rex was not a clumsy hunter. It was a master of ambush, using its environment to get as close as possible before the charge. To challenge the bull was to challenge the entire herd. A risky, almost arrogant move, a true statement of a king. Using the river was a clever tactic, masking the sound of its approach until the final explosive charge. The spear versus the shield, a 9-ton unstoppable force against a 9-ton immovable object. the ultimate Cretaceous duel. This was not a quick battle. It was a grueling tactical fight that could last for hours, a true test of stamina and will. Triceratops' horns were deadly weapons. A deep wound like this could lead to infection and death, even if the T-Rex won the fight. It has proven its power once again, but even a king can bleed. This victory has left a permanent mark on the aging monarch. Wounded and tired, our king faces his greatest challenge. He must rely not just on strength, but on a lifetime of brutal experience. Rivals in nature are merciless. They will always exploit a weakness. This is a battle of survival of the fittest. A lifetime of battle has taught it one thing: survive at all costs. It uses its own weakness as a weapon, a feint of incredible risk. Experience has defeated youth. Cunning has defeated arrogance. The king has defended his throne for the last time. Time is the one enemy no king can defeat. Its reign was long and absolute, but even the greatest dynasties must come to an end. A sound that will echo through the ages. The final roar of a king, a survivor, a legend. The end of an era. The great king is gone, but its story, its legacy, is now etched into the very rocks of this land, waiting to be discovered. The reign ended, but the story never will. For in the bones of the earth, the king has found a new kind of immortality. The Tyrant King is gone, but its legacy is eternal. A story of survival, of power, and of a reign that will inspire awe for all time. The king claims his prize. This single meal will provide thousands of calories, essential for healing its deep wounds and replenishing its strength. A wise king never eats where he kills. Moving the carcass to a secure location is a vital act of strategy to avoid attracting scavengers and rivals. Its sense of smell, able to detect scents from miles away, has warned it of a new danger, a scent it knows all too well. Another T-Rex. The greatest threat to a Tyrannosaurus Rex was another Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is a battle for everything: food, territory, and legacy. Fights between adult T-Rexes were likely ritualized at first, a display of power to avoid injury. But this fight is for the ultimate prize. Wounded and tired, our king faces his greatest challenge. It must rely not just on strength, but on a lifetime of brutal experience. Rivals in nature are merciless. They will always exploit a weakness. This is a battle of survival of the fittest. A lifetime of battle has taught it one thing: survive at all costs. It uses its own weakness as a weapon, a feint of incredible risk. Experience has defeated youth. Cunning has defeated arrogance. The king has defended his throne for the last time. Fossil records of T-Rex often show evidence of brutal face-biting, proof that these titanic duels were a common part of their lives. Time is the one enemy no king can defeat. Its reign was long and absolute, but even the greatest dynasties must come to an end, a sound that will echo through the ages. The final roar of a king, a survivor, a legend, the end of an era. The great king is gone, but its story, its legacy, is now etched into the very rocks of this land, waiting to be discovered. The reign ended, but the story never will. For in the bones of the earth, the king has found a new kind of immortality. Fossil records of T-Rex often show evidence of brutal face and body trauma, proof that these titanic duels were a common part of their lives. A T-Rex's healing ability was extraordinary. Many fossils show healed bone fractures that would have been fatal to other animals. A Tyrannosaurus Rex could live for around 30 years. In its final years, it was a living monument, a king ruling through legend as much as strength. Each scar tells a story: the faded streak from its birth, the gash from the Dakotaraptor, the deep wounds from its final duel. A life of survival. Its reign is ending, but the dynasty of the Tyrannosaurus Rex is eternal. A new contender waits in the wings for the throne to become empty. Its journey, which began with a violent crack of an eggshell, is now ending in a quiet, majestic peace. The circle is complete, a sound that will echo through the ages. The final roar of a king, a survivor, a legend, the end of an era. The great king is gone, but its story, its legacy, is now etched into the very rocks of this land, waiting to be discovered. The reign ended, but the story never will. For in the bones of the earth, the king has found a new kind of immortality. The Tyrant King is gone, but its legacy is eternal. A story of survival, of power, and of a reign that will inspire awe for all time. The end of one story is the beginning of countless others. The legend of the Tyrant Lizard King will now live on forever in our imagination.